Well, I just want to start by thanking Bronco Nation for showing up and supporting in Albertson Stadium tonight, as they always do. It's a treat. It's a pleasure. It's obviously there's a lot of hard work that goes into this all year round, but each and every week. I'm really proud of the team, proud of the coaches. Awesome to see the coaches cut it loose, put a plan together. To come off a road loss like we did the previous week and to come back and show the resilience from the coaching staff, from the players. I mean, couldn't be more proud of this group. Felt like we put one of our most complete games together as well. We had a lot of guys step up and play tonight in all three phases of the game. We did win the turnover margin, which is going to be a huge part as we go down the stretch here to continue to take care of the ball, keep ourselves on the field, be able to pursue and track the ball, take it from ball carriers, track it in the air. We need to continue to play fundamentally sound so that we can win the turnover margin. We ran the ball for over 5 yards a carry tonight. We got explosive in the air. Some guys stepped up at the wide receiver position right from the jump, which we fully intended to have happen from the beginning of the week. That was the plan. It was exciting to see Prince and Austin seize the moment, take advantage of the opportunity. Billy B came up with some big-time catches and some situational, third down, and really proud of the way the O-line played. We're playing against a defensive front that brought a lot of pressure. There was a lot of bodies in the box tonight. We still managed, again, to run the ball for over 5 yards a carry. We limited them to 1 sack. And ultimately, that was a huge part of the game. And it continues to be in terms of how the O-line, the tight ends, the wide receivers are blocking. And it obviously opens up space down the field as well. Once, we adjusted to the game plan on defense with their starting quarterback not being available tonight, and really seeing the game plan and how they intended to use their quarterback, use their plan, situationally, down and distance, field position-wise. Once we got a good feel for that, I thought the defensive coaches did a good job making adjustments, and, guys stepped up on defense tonight. Jake Ripp jumped in there and played the majority of the second half there, and it was great to see. We were able to get some pressure on the quarterback. We got to do a little bit better job tracking in terms of our tackling and our finishing. We as we got going on defense and got into rhythm there, we were able to get ourselves off the field on third downs for the most part there. Offensively, we were 6 of 10 on third down, so that's always awesome to see. Again, you take care of the ball, you convert on third downs, good things are always going to happen. The takeaway in the red zone was Shea stripping him, and it was Tubes, right? Tubes recovering that thing. That was awesome, big time. And it really comes down to the guys' resiliency and how they practice, how they prepared, how they stayed together, and it'll be full intentions as we go down the stretch here to continue to build on that within this building.
You mentioned Austin and Prince. How much more dangerous is this offense when you have both those guys stretching the field the way they did tonight?
Yeah, I mean, it creates conflict. There's, it's going to make people decide how many numbers you're going to put in the box to stop the run game, and with the space it creates on the outside, how low the safeties get down into the box. It's going to make people, again, it puts people in conflict.
And you talked about this some on Monday, but to see Austin catch his first touchdown pass, knowing what he's been through, I mean, what does that mean to you?
I mean, I think everybody was trying our best not to get a penalty to be out there celebrating with him on the field, because it's he's a guy that has been through a fair amount, and it's always, we talk about it's 10% of what happens, 90% of how you respond, and that's a great example. And just like we talked to him and talked to Austin and Prince while we were still on the field after the game about humble and hungry. We keep growing, we keep thriving, we keep relishing in the opportunities we get.
First half, 328 yards of offense. Both quarterbacks were doing great things for you out there. You know, is that kind of what you've always envisioned the two quarterback system being? Was that kind of what that looked like? And then how do you evaluate how Talon played in the second half, having to be the guy?
Yeah, I mean, I thought both those guys played well tonight. They both made big time plays on third down situations, explosive plays, through the air. It was awesome to see, again, be able to find the rhythm, be able to take care of the ball, move the chains, and be on the attack. Creates more opportunities for us, to get to the game plan that we have prepared and get the ball, whether it's to the backs or to the wide receivers. That was fun. That was fun to watch. It was fun to see. And we get to celebrate it tonight for 24 hours. And then, we get back to looking at what does it look like next week? What are the opportunities we're going to have?
With Maddox, he just seemed to have a certain level of confidence by getting the start tonight. What did you see out of him and how explosive the guys were on offense right from the jump?
Yeah, we were able to execute, and put the ball in the air. And again, it depends on the week, on what we're getting from a defense and how they're going to play our offensive front in the backfield. And so I thought Bush did a great job when he saw what we were getting and put the guys in position, and they executed. That's what it comes down to, and it was awesome to see that. TG went in there and had a few good passes too. That was awesome to see. There's third down conversion to Billy in a tight window, and Bill made a really great catch. That's fun. That's fun to see those guys have the success on the field, knowing and seeing how hard they work in practice. And that's the biggest thing, as you get down the stretch here, and it's in the middle of November here, and it's been a long haul, and everybody's tired, everybody's sore. That's football. How we continue to move forward and how we push through, keep our mental endurance right, keep our focus right, make sure that we're continuing to, elevate that competitive maturity. That's what teams should be doing down the stretch, is growing, and we're going to need to continue to do that.
We talked on Friday, Andy, you said that kind of matched the start, that Taylor was still going to play, and you felt like Taylor could even have a bigger role. It just felt like whatever you guys did tonight on offense, you guys were always in favorable positions, weren't behind the chains a bunch, and you could kind of stay on the attack. What you saw from Taylor tonight, I mean, he made a lot of good decisions. It might have been his most efficient game of the year. What do you think about the way Taylor played?
Yeah, there's no question. Throwing the ball, he was 5 of 6, and had some good runs too. Obviously, he had the touchdown run that was, frankly, it was pretty sweet. The way he cut through defenders and put his pads down at the end. So we're excited about what he did, and it shows the resiliency for him as a young man and who he is as a young man too, and that ultimately he cares about this team, as much as anything else. And for us as coaches, for us as a team, that just exemplifies that even through sometimes adversity can bring out the true character and really show who people are. And he demonstrated who he is tonight. Love him for that. Love him for how he handled everything this week, and excited to see him keep doing it.
How promising was it to see Prince have the night he had, especially with the week that you guys have had in your wide receiver room, losing 2 guys?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's we talk about seizing the moment and taking advantage of an opportunity, and that comes through great preparation that builds the real confidence to be able to go out there and do it. And that's why it's critical that we know and understand, just because we did it tonight doesn't mean it will happen next week. We get to celebrate this tonight, and then it's back to the process and preparing to make sure that we earn the right to be able to be successful and do the things that we did tonight.
Breezy, with you guys up, obviously, I'm guessing you wanted to save a little wear and tear on George. 15 carries, 91 yards. He probably had some of the more physical runs he's had in his Boise State career tonight. What's the way Breezy finished that game off?
He's coming along. The early season run, and the experience he's getting for a true freshman running back, kind of reminds you of someone else too, huh? and as they continue to grow and thrive, and it's trust me, like what you see him doing when he's running the ball, it's not only that. He is way more well-tuned in what the offense is, what we're doing on offense, and what's going on, and just got to keep growing.
Ahmed tonight, 2 more sacks. He is quietly chasing down the Mountain West lead this season.
How many we got now?
He's got 9, which puts him a sack and a half off the lead, but that's 6 straight games with at least 1 for him. And in multiple games, he has multiple sacks. So, what have you seen out of Ahmed?
Yeah, he was chasing the quarterback around quite a bit tonight in the backfield, which, I mean, that's a piece of it. We got to continue to improve in our pass defense, but it's just not coverage. It's being able to apply pressure on the quarterback, move him off the spot, disrupt the timing within the passing game. But yes, of course, we got to be diligent with our pass techniques and whatever coverage structure we're operating in. But that's when the whole defense is working together. And so it always starts, you got to stop the run to be in situations to be able to pass rush and be able to get to certain calls that allow for, to create leverage on the edges and put guys in positions. And, it was tonight, he and a few other guys too. Who else, who did they credit for the sack on the 4th down play? I don't have the full packet in front of me, and there was a whole host of black jerseys surrounding the quarterback there. But those Andrew, yeah, that's what I thought it was, Andrew. But we've got to be able to create more pressure on the quarterback. And a lot of that too, it really comes down to guys being able to win one-on-ones and feeling confident with certain rush moves, given the front structure, 3-man, 4-man, 5-man, rushes, 6-man at times, and having a really good understanding of what tools they can go to depending upon what call Coach D puts us in.
How do you like the defensive adjustments in the second half? Under 70 yards, you held them, and then obviously the shutout in the second half.
Yeah, it was huge. I mean, that's when you get into pregame warmups and you see the starting quarterback's not out there. It's okay. Then it's to figure out how do they intend to operate tonight and what does it look like, and you're assured to get some new formations and some new wrinkles in each and every game. And typically you're going to see those things within the first quarter. And so whether it's a game like tonight where there's another quarterback playing or any other game, you got to handle the game plan stuff from a certain offense, especially in the first drive. We always talk about in the first drive, you got to be able to weather the storm, the script, and the things that they have practiced all week that they feel like obviously would put a defense in conflict. And so thought there were some things that New Mexico did tonight that formationally and leveraging things that maybe they haven't really done. And I thought the coaches did a really good job adjusting and using the calls that we had prepared this week and really honing in on a certain group of those and making sure the players felt comfortable and understanding where we were going to go, how we were going to be on the attack, and in terms of what calls we were using in certain situations.
Might be a better question for Monday, but Katie Bradley, the impact he's starting to have on your offense, not even when he touches the ball. On Austin's touchdown, he goes in motion, 4 different guys move, and leaves that deep middle open for that easy touchdown. And then
Don't tell everybody that.
on Taylor's touchdown run, his lead block on that was. The effort on that was insane. Just his impact on your offense.
Yeah, I mean, KD in his role and what he's doing, it's probably not a traditional looking role, right? But it's about how you thrive and star in whatever role it is that you have that can help the team impact the team, help the team win. And, whether he's carrying the ball, or he's blocking or he's making the defense adjust on motions and stuff like that. That's a huge part of it. He obviously is our returner too, our kickoff returner, and we were close on that first kickoff. Now it was really close. There was felt like the kickoff return team did a good job creating some space, and to be honest with you, if that kick wasn't I don't want to go into a lot of detail of it, but if that kick wasn't exactly where it was at, that thing, we're probably rolling. So.
Andy, probably one of the most trying, weeks of the season. How good did it feel to kind of come back home and get the win after everything this team's kind of been through?
Yeah, there's no question, and it just goes to show the resiliency of this coaching staff. I can't praise these guys enough. For the work they do, and the way they come in here and the way they lead, the way they prepare as men, and then the way they put things together and present to the players, how they coach them on the field. You can't give people confidence, but you can give the people, especially our players, an opportunity to earn confidence by how they work, how they come with the right attitude and the right focus each and every day. But ultimately, that starts with us too. And so I commend our coaching staff for what they did this week, and again how resilient they were. And we're going to enjoy this tonight. I can't wait to see those guys and celebrate with them. And just proud of them.
Anything else? All right, thank you.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Questions for TG?
Kalen, after the last few weeks you've been through, just kind of to have a game like this, to have a win like this, what's this mean for you? What's this mean for the team?
It definitely feels, good to get the win, like no matter how it looks, all the grind, all the effort, like you said, last couple of weeks and even this week, I'm just proud of how our team responded and proud of how we went about practice and not losing the level of intensity and the level of focus. So I'm definitely proud for our team, and I'm definitely proud for our coaching staff, just on the detail and everything it showed today.
Madison goes down at the end of the first half. You're coming in the second half. What's going through your mind there in that first drive?
Just pick up where he started, because it was definitely electric first half, and I just wanted to, pick up where he started like he did for me. It's a team sport, I know he has my back, and I know I have his back, and just the camaraderie and the brotherhood that we have and the relationship we share is definitely special. And like he was laughing with me when I scored, and I was laughing with him when he scored. So definitely a sad event, but I know he has my back, and like I said, I know I have his back too.
Taylor, I think over the last month or so, maybe who the starters has just kind of been a formality, but you had started the last 19 straight games for this program, and you didn't get to start tonight. Just how do you what was your response to the situation, and just how did you handle it?
For sure. Being a competitor, it was a little tough. To be honest, it was a little tough pill to swallow. But I mean, if it's best for the team, it's best for the team. To get anything for the win. If it looks pretty, if it looks rough, if we come out the win, the joy we have in the locker room, throwing water bottles, and all that work, like I said, from this week in practice, it makes it all worth it. So honestly, it's just doing whatever it takes to get that win on Saturday.
How do you feel like you played tonight?
I feel like I played decent. Still a lot of stuff I can improve on. Definitely, Bush is going to tell me, especially in the film room. So he's real tough. So definitely not satisfied. Not satisfied with how I played, but still feels good. Just to get the dub.
I feel like when you take off to run these days, and honestly, it seems like you're running a little pissed off. I would say lowering your pads at the goal line. Would you say that's the case?
I would say we practice on it. That was a really big emphasis for me because I'm so tall. So, you know, just getting hit, I gotta be low to absorb the hits and stuff like that. And, you know, that's a couple times, you know, I hurdle because they gonna take my ankles out, take my legs out. So I just gotta remind them, you know, just to gotta be careful, you know. So that was definitely a big emphasis on our Wednesday practice. Our coach put like a pipe, and we had to run through it. I'm like, Coach, I'm almost about to hit it. So it's definitely an emphasis with Av and Bush of, you know, just lowering my pads and just running through contact.
There's been, I don't know if this is accurate or not, but it seems like there's been a lot of tinkering with the two quarterback system. And in the first half before Maddox went down tonight, it seemed like you guys finally, you know, had that balance right. Is that kind of what your thought was? I mean, you guys were both having great plays, and then in the second half, you know, what was your mindset to just kind of continue that, you know, knowing that you had to be the guy?
I would say just going to the games, depending how they play us, you know, if they play us run heavy or they play us pass heavy, you know, just adjusting to it, because that's what we go into it, because we really don't really know what it's exactly going to look like, but that's what I'm really proud of, you know, how me and Max is, you know, taking this. We're supporting each other all the way. Like, if he's in, I'm right there when I'm looking at the calls, and I'm just telling him a couple of stuff, and he's doing the same for me. So I would say definitely really proud of, you know, how both of us are handling, not just me, but him too, you know.
Taylor, as you talked about being a competitor, you know, last week, you know, you get pulled after one snap and then, you know, turn the ball over, you're kind of done. I mean, how do you kind of keep yourself just in the game after those tough moments, probably?
I'll be honest, I pray a lot. You know, I just pray and just keep my mind right, because that's where it all starts, you know. I'm a big believer in my faith. I'm a big believer, and that's my foundation, you know. It's definitely been hard, but, you know, that's what I rely on, is my faith and just God's plan at the end of the day. And of course, you know, my teammates and my coaches, you know, I just want to be there for them. I want to be in the right mindset for them and for God, because he's blessed me with talents and the abilities just to put on the platform on the blue, especially with the night game, blue lights. You know, it's definitely a special place, you know.
What did you see from Katie on that when he was lead block for your touchdown? I know you kind of helped him set that thing up, but what did you see from his effort? And what do you think his overall impact he's going to make on your offense?
I would say it's increasing, you know. I'm really close with him, and, you know, he's getting his opportunity, and that's what I really like. I mean, everybody's getting their opportunity, you know, Prince, Austin Bolt, they're making the most of it, and that's what I like, you know. It all started January. It started in the fall camp, and a big emphasis was developing dependable depth, you know, and I feel like they did a great job, you know, KD on my run and when he got the jet sweeps. So he's just doing a really good job on the role he is, and as you can see, it's paying off. And I told him on the kick return, he's gonna break one. He's gonna break one. I told him to. So.
With regards to Prince and Austin, you know, Prince having the breakout game that, you know, kind of, I think fans have been waiting to see. Austin having that long catch to get you on the board, you know, just kind of how dynamic can they both be for you guys now that they get the opportunity?
I think everybody saw it today. I mean, a lot of people don't see what they do in the shadows, you know, of Austin getting hurt and coming back and doing all the physical therapy and all the things he had to do to even get ready for today's game, you know. And with Prince, you know, being so young and just having his role just be increased from this week, you know, the preparation that he comes with and the preparation that and practicing the intent, you know, I was just glad that they was able to display it today, of the preparation, all the blood, sweat, and tears that go with it.
I thought that throw to Billy on the sideline was pretty sweet. What did you kind of see? What did you think of that throw that you made to him and the catch that he was able to make there?
I would say that was timing. That was our chemistry, going back to fall camp and going back to when we were working out in Cali. When we went there, we was doing that same route. So I bet that was pretty cool. I looked to Colton, CJ, and I just started smiling because, like, it's crazy just having that chemistry and just enjoying it, you know, just having fun, you know, just having fun out there, you know. Like I say all the time, if you're not having fun, then what are you doing it for, you know, because it's a game. But at the same time, it's still a job, so it's a balance. So.
Anything else? All right, thank you.
Thank you all. Y'all was doing.
Yeah, thanks, Taylor. With the week this team has just had, I mean, just how good did it feel to come and get a win, you know, on the blue here?
Yeah, so I mean, like, and I'm at fault of this, you know, you think so far ahead. As soon as you get into conference play, you start mapping out, you know, how do you get to Mountain West Championship, how do you get your goal accomplished, and then we lose a game like last week, and then it's almost just like, you know, some crazy things have to happen, which, you know, some things are going on tonight, but right now we're going to play for each other. We're going to play for the love of the game, and it's almost a freeing feeling in a sense, but, you know, there's still a grind of a process to get through over the course of a week, but to come out here and be able to play, and guys like Austin Bolt and Prince stepping up is huge, man. I'm so excited for them, and it's just a good team win.
They moved the ball pretty well in the first half tonight, but you guys shut them down in the second half. What do you guys adjust at halftime?
Yeah, I think it's nothing from a schematic standpoint, really, right? It's just a simple, you know, technique and fundamentals, like just tackling on the perimeter and staying on top of that one deep ball. And, you know, it sounds simple, right? But you're going against talented football players where in one-on-one situations, their coaches are telling them they're expected to make those plays and make them miss those tackles, right? So it's all competitive, and, you know, we just got to come out on top in those situations when our numbers call it.
You know, last week, DJ and Andrew didn't come off the field for a single snap on defense, and this week, sprinkle in Chase Martin and Andrew, Andrew Rip, right? Rip. Jake Rip.
Jake Rip.
Jake Rip, sorry, yeah. Simpson Jake Rip. Either way, what did you see out of those young guys tonight?
No, man, those guys, those are blue-collar dudes right there, and they've been working their tail off, and to be able to play behind them and play off them, it's awesome. And to see them get their opportunity, it's well-deserved. And not only that, I mean, we saw Jake Rip, you know, he came through and made some good tackles, and these guys are developing, they're growing, and that's what this place is about, is not just recruiting players, but developing players and men, and it's just been awesome to see them grow.
That red zone turnover really seemed to turn things for you guys. I think if they had scored, you know, that turns it into a one-possession game. But, you know, I think after that was when you guys really started to turn on the afterburners. You know, how big of a change was that for you, did you think?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you can get a turnover in the red zone, it's huge. It's at least 3 points off the board, maybe 7, right? And, you know, it's immediately pivot, and then our offense is able to go down the field. I think they scored on that next series, if I remember correctly. And, I mean, it's really a 14-point swing just like that. So turnover is anywhere, but in the red zone especially are huge momentum changers.
With Shea, I feel like every time he was around the ball tonight, he was making kind of a big game-changing play. He had 7 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, and the forced fumble. Just thinking of what Shea played tonight.
Yeah, man, Shea, you know, Shea's – it sounds funny, but Shea's Shea, right? He plays his game, and the things that we ask him to do, he's able to do a very good job at them. And, you know, we've all kind of had things we've had to grow over the course of the year, but for him to, you know, take those strides over the course of the season and make those plays that, you know, to be honest, like Shea wasn't always making those plays that Shea is now. It's just his commitment to himself and the game and the team and development. That to see him out there making those plays now it's pretty cool.
He seems like a happy guy, but maybe some like game day, like he's got like this laser focus thing going on where I don't know if he knows anything else is going on besides what he's actually focused on at that moment.
Yeah, you're gonna have to talk to him about that one. He's a unique character. He's awesome to be around. He's got his own game day vibe. Him and I got pretty opposite game day vibes, but we play off each other pretty well.
You know, with everything kind of Taylon's gone through, what can you say about him stepping up, you know, when Maddox goes down, about what he did for this team tonight?
You know, I will say this. It's something that's not seen from the outside, but Taylon and Maddox are like 2 of the best teammates I've ever been around. And their relationship, despite, you know, both being competitors and wanting to be on the field, the reality is at that position you can't have those 2 guys on the field at the same time. But, I mean, despite all that, I've never heard one negative thing. I've never seen a negative look. They truly want the best for each other and best for this team, and they're phenomenal teammates. And, you know, I pray, you know, that Maddox is okay. And I'm still waiting to hear exactly what status his injury is. But, you know, to see Taylon come through and his opportunity, and we had all the confidence in the world that he's going to get the job done. We've seen it, you know, time and time again. So that was pretty cool to see him have his back like that.
2 more sacks for Ahmed tonight. You know, just kind of how dominating has he been on the line for you guys?
No, there's very few people in this conference, maybe even in college football, that has his specific capabilities that he does. You know, when he plays his game and he plays, you know, and we say do our job, but he plays within his job, you know, and just focuses on that. He's pretty dangerous. He's a great football player, and he's capable of making big time plays like that.
You said kind of Gene this, like you map out this quest to go win a Mountain West Conference title, and in your mind it probably looks like 8-0, and you just go take care of business. Obviously not the case. You know, you look at what happened around the Mountain West tonight, though. I don't know how many people thought that San Jose State was going to beat Fresno by nearly 30. I don't know how many people thought that Air Force was going to go to Hawaii and lose. How much of it just a reminder to take care of what you guys can do and, you know, stay in the fight and just see what happens at the end of this thing?
Yeah, I think, you know, for us right now, what I'll say is all this is fun and games unless we win week in and week out through the rest of the season. That's where my focus is. And, you know, to know that our chances are still alive is awesome. But I made the mistake before of trying to think too far ahead and map this and that out. We're going to, you know, just like last week, we're going to regroup, we're going to focus, and we're going to go one game at a time, and we'll see how the cards play out.
All right, thank you.
Hey, guys.